All right, we're 5-0 with a push at our last 6 $1.99 daily best plays on Pt.1. And the link for today's $1.99 daily best play is in the description section below. $1,000 bettors are up over $4,500 during that span. And if you want to access today's daily best play, it's only going to cost you just $1.99. Now, if you have no idea what I'm talking about, or if you're not signed up for that package yet, I'll explain a little bit more about it in just a moment. But before we go ahead and move on, just want to take a quick time out and welcome you to the video. My name is Brock Page, and I do sports picks for free right here on YouTube. I also sell my personal bets on BrockPage.com, and I have packages on that website starting at just $1.99. Now, the purpose of these YouTube videos is to provide you with free, informational sports betting content. It's also designed to generate interest in signing up for a membership on my website. Now, you may be wondering what the difference is between what I do here on YouTube and what I do on my webpage. Well, what I do here on YouTube is I'll handicap the entire slate of games in any given sport, side and total. And what I do on my website is I actually share with you which one of these free YouTube picks on my channel that I'm actually betting on personally. And with that, guys, let's go ahead and dive into our part 1 video here. We're going to go ahead and get started with the Sixers taking on the Knicks. And that's going to be a 1 o'clock Eastern tip-off on Sunday, February 27th, 2022. Philadelphia is -8 with the total at 217.5. But as good as Philadelphia has been, especially with the new addition of James Harden, they've still struggled to cover the number with New York in recent meetings. As a matter of fact, Philly failed to cover in 7 out of their last 10 meetings with New York. They averaged only 104 points a game during that stretch. Now, the Sixers are also having a pretty tough time grabbing offensive boards. These guys are actually dead last in the NBA in offensive rebounding per contest. Now, they're taking on a Knicks team who, believe it or not, they're actually amongst the better rebounding teams in the East, despite their recent struggles. And they haven't played all that great recently, but pretty good underneath the basket. The Knicks are currently in the top 5 in the nation in offensive rebounding per contest. They're led by Julius Randle, who's grabbing over 10 rebounds a game. Now, Jules has also done a good job with the basketball, scoring-wise. He's averaging nearly 20 points a night. He's also averaging 5 assists. Meanwhile, R.J. Barrett, he's scoring over 18.5 points per contest himself, along with 5 rebounds and a couple assists. Now, when it comes to defensive play, these guys are actually pretty tough to score against. New York's in the top 10 in defensive field goal percentage, and they're giving up only 106 points a game at Madison Square Garden. When it comes to the injury report, Grimes is out today with a knee, and when it comes to the total in this one, New York saw their last 3 straight get over the line, 80% to the over in their last 10. Meanwhile, Philadelphia saw their last 3 straight get over the posted total themselves, 5-2 to the over in their last 7. I'm going to lean toward the New York Knicks +8 and the over 217.5. Next contest, it is going to be Jazz versus the Suns, 3:30 p.m. East. Phoenix is -1, totals 226. Now, the Suns won 8 out of their last 9. They're currently 38 games above 500 for the year. Now, when it comes to defensive play in this one, Phoenix allows only 105 points a game, and they lead the entire NBA in defending the 3-ball. Now, scoring-wise, Devin Booker is averaging over 25.5 points a game, along with 5 rebounds and 4 assists. Meanwhile, DeAndre Ayton, he's averaging over 16 points a game himself, along with double-digit boards. And speaking of rebounds, the Suns are in the top 5 in the NBA in home offensive rebounding. And speaking of offensive production, Phoenix is also in the top 3 in the league in shooting from the field. I'm in a segue kind of mood here. That's that broadcasting degree being put to work here. But anyway, they're taking on a Utah team who's struggled a bit with Phoenix in recent meetings. The Jazz lost 6 out of their last 10 head-to-head contests with the Suns. They're actually giving up the majority of their points in the second half. Now, injury-wise, Butler's out. Gay is questionable. Meanwhile, for Phoenix on the other side, Paul and Payne are out for them. Holiday is also questionable as well. Now, when it comes to the total in this one, Phoenix saw unders recently with New Orleans, the LA Clippers, and Washington. Meanwhile, Utah went 6-2 to the under in their last 8. I'm going to lean toward Phoenix -1 and the under 226. And with that, we're going to jump into our next and final matchup of the show. It is going to be Celtics versus the Pacers, 5 p.m. Eastern start time. Boston's -8 with a total at 224.5. But as good as Boston's been over the past month or so, they did fail to cover recently against the likes of Detroit and Denver. As a matter of fact, this is really interesting here. The Celtics failed to cover the point spread 3 times to Detroit within their last 9 ball games. So a lot of failures against the Pistons, in recent meetings. And I'll tell you what, I'm sure that resulted in many failed tickets. I mean, that's brutal. But anyway, as good as these guys have been defensively this season, and they've been really good, really tough defensively, they've actually had a really tough time scoring in the first half. The Celtics are in the bottom 10 in both first and second quarter scoring. They're taking on a Pacer team who covered in 2 out of their last 3, and they scored 112 points or more in 9 out of their last 10 ball games. As a matter of fact, the Pacers are in the top 10 in the NBA in shooting from the field at home. They're also in the top 10 in home scoring per contest. Buddy Hield's averaging over 21.5 points a game with his new ball club. 6 rebounds, 5 assists for the guard. Meanwhile, Ty Halliburton, he's draining 44% of his three-pointers with his new team himself. He's also averaging nearly 20 points a game as well. And speaking of offensive production, the Pacers actually score more first-quarter points at home than any other team in the association. They're leading the league in first-quarter scoring at home. Now, when it comes to the injury report, Duarte and Stevenson are questionable for the Pacers. When it comes to the total in this one, Indiana's 21 and 11 to the over at home. That's good for 66% in that category. Meanwhile, Boston saw their last 4 straight get over the line themselves. They also went 60% to the over in their last 10 meetings with Indiana. I'm going to lean toward the Pacers +8 and the over 224.5. And with that, guys, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on BrockPage.com. Now, if you guys do end up getting a membership here today on my website, just keep in mind, we utilize the Patreon platform. And the way that Patreon does their billing cycle is they bill you the day you sign up and then the first of every month following that. So if you do end up getting a membership here today, you're going to get access to a couple days worth of picks, and then you're going to get billed again on March 1st. So you may want to think about waiting until the first of the month. I always tell folks in every single video, the earlier in the month you sign up, the better. But once again, guys, we're pretty hot right now, winning a lot of games. So, it might be worth it for you to get 2 days worth of premium bets and then to reload again, on March 1st. But ball's in your court, it's your call. And one more thing, guys, if you want to get access to every single bet that I give out on that website, you're going to want to think about signing up for my board member tier package. Board members not only get access to the board member tier bet itself, they actually get access to every single package that I offer on that website. It's an all-inclusive membership. But guys, most importantly, I got to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. Be on the lookout for our part 2 video in the next couple of hours or so. But once again, got to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. Really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. And with that said, guys, happy Sunday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my website at BrockPage.com.